Hello, everybody. We're live. We're back with Natasha Galinsky from On Purpose Projects. That was a little bit of a delay. I promise it's worth the wait. This is going to be such a good talk. Welcome, Natasha.
Hey guys.
I have a fun little factoid, and that is that Natasha and I met when I introduced her talk. Was it last year or 2 years ago?
It was 2 years ago.
And we have stayed in touch and have reached out to each other for little things here and there over the years. And I just think that's such a really cool, fun little success piece of the Adoram Summit. So I'm
Absolutely.
so excited to have you back as a speaker. One of the things that I think is so interesting about your business is that you guys are a full stack. You got hardcore geeks. You are doing some
Yeah.
serious coding,
Yeah.
making custom WooCommerce sites and things. And you're not a geek. You're not a
I've never
coder.
built a website in my life. Never.
And you run a web development agency. Like,
I do.
that
Yeah.
blows my mind because I feel like I would be, no, I need to know how to do everything, right?
I know
But
nothing.
it makes so much sense. And so now you're going to teach, like, so when we say the high performance hiring method, and
Yeah.
this lady right here is running a successful business with a team that she hired without knowing their skill set, like, you want to listen to what she's got to say. So anyway, I'm super interested to hear it. I'll put up your slides here and then I'll let you go.
Sounds good. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. I hope you're having such a great day at the event. I know it's an incredible experience. Like Stephanie said, I am Natasha. I've been running a web development agency for 11 years. I have never built a website in my life. I have essentially run a virtual contractor team since the beginning of my agency days. I originally, 11 years ago, I was a management consultant in the nonprofit sector. And I had a client who was looking for help with his website. And so I went to Upwork. I got a guy from like Bangladesh for like $5 an hour. No idea what was going on. No idea what he did or how he did it. And we ended up working together for the next 8 years. And since then, I've built a 100% virtual contractor team. It runs without me. Something, Stephanie and I can talk about later is I was actually out. I had breast cancer. I'm a single parent with 3 children and have only ever run my business 9 to 2. And it's all because of my skills to build teams. And I know this is a hugely stressful topic for so many agency founders. And I'm just going to run through it and tell you my best tips for building virtual contractor teams. So basically, we all know this, right? So ghosting, bad work, bad communication, total guessing game. Most agency founders dread the process of hiring, whether it's a contractor, whether it's employee. It's just drama all around. Usually something goes wrong, estimates bad, culture fit's bad, communication is bad, something's wrong, but it doesn't have to be this way. As I mentioned, I've been running a very technical agency for 10 years, 11 years almost. We do custom complex web apps, custom APIs, Shopify Plus projects, you name it. We are a full stack dev team. I have no idea what anyone on my team does. I've been, previous to the agency world, I was a recruiter. In my life, I've hired hundreds of people. My average tenure is at least 5 years. In 10 years, I've had one person quit. So I have incredible retention. This is just a fun fact. I've been nominated 4 times for the Canadian Woman of Influence Award, oldest of 6 kids, mom of 3 teenagers. So I essentially have been leading teams for 45 years. So lots of team building experience. So like I said before, 10 years, zero employees, 90% retention, and our team has delivered millions of dollars in services. So I've got a loyal team, I've got a contractor team, and I've got a very good team too. So the 10-step high performance hiring method, here we go. So I'm going to lay it out all 10 here, and then I'm going to break them down each one. So number 1, where to find great people. People always ask me that. Where do I find them? Where do I go? What do I do? Number 2, know what you're looking for. 3, write a crystal clear job description. 4, filter your applicants fast. 5, screen with DMs. 6, video calls for culture fit. 7, 3-strike system. 8, deeper dive tech review. 9, the hire, non-negotiables, and trial period. And number 10, onboarding. This sounds like a lot. In this presentation, I'm going to run through these at a very high level. If you do want more information, I have passed Stephanie the link to a course that I'm providing with a 50% discount to anyone who's been at this event. So step 1 and 2, you find where to find your people and how to get clear. So people ask me this all the time. Where do I find these people? And so there's a few different resources that I find most people that works pretty well. So number 1, freelancer portals, Upwork, freelancer.com. There's so many of them. This is usually one of my top choices because you can see their ratings, see their reviews, see their earnings, look at their track record. There's no hiding anything. You can see them like black and white if they're any good at what they do. Referrals from colleagues is another really good one. Sometimes if you're only looking for someone part-time and you have a colleague who has someone part-time, you can job share. Like if you have a VA and that VA wants more hours, you can like job share that person. My one tip is when people ask me about my hiring approach, avoid resume only hires. Because a resume is, you can't see anything. You just kind of take their word for it, or you check references. I personally love working with freelancers where you can see verified reviews. This presentation is going to be all about Upwork. I love Upwork. I've always used it. So I'm going to use Upwork as my example, but this could be applied to any hiring process, right? And then this is the one that is the most crucial. People ask me this all the time as well, is like, how do you get good people? Like, how do you I've got a really strong team, and it's like, you've got to know what you want. And this is so important because a lot of people kind of take this like random approach to the hiring. They're like, oh my gosh, I need another front-end developer or whatever. But they don't specify, okay, there's going to be technical skills you need for this person. If you're not a developer, like anything, if you're a social media marketer or copywriter or a web designer, whatever, there are technical skills this person's going to need to know, right? Non-technical skills, communication style, time zone, personality, their culture fit, right? And then your own non-negotiables. So things like availability, overlap, work style, deal breakers. And this is how I like to explain this, is like when you are hiring, you are looking for a very specific thing, and then you go find it. You're not like putting a job out and then like, oh my gosh, I have so many options. It's like, no, you know in your mind what you want, and then you go get it. So you have to get really clear first. Steph, any questions so far? Stephanie, any questions so far? No? Okay, good. Let's keep moving.
Sorry,
Oh, no,
I hit the wrong button.
Throw you in like that. I'm just not watching the chat. Any questions so far?
No. Yeah, it's fine. No, I'll monitor for you if there's anything urgent.
Amazing.
I'll pop in and let you know.
Thank you. Let me know. Thank you. Okay, so if you've never used Upwork, an Upwork profile kind of looks like this. So you've got the name, the job, the location, the time zone, their reviews. And this is why I love it, because you can really see everything. So this person this is a fake example. So 4.9 rating, their earnings, 90% job success, her time zones, her reviews, and her skills. So in this case, for example, if I was looking for a Shopify developer, I can see, okay, 127 jobs done, 4.9, that's really good, 62,000 earned. Her rate, what she does, PST overlap preferred, things like this. So to me, this is why I love it, because before I even talk to this person, I can see who they are and what they do, and if they're any good at what they do. And then so what our number 3 here is, once we know what we want in part 2, step 3, we write a crystal clear job description. And with AI right now, this is so easy. So you can just put in these prompts, like you want to put your name in it. So write your job description and you put thanks for your review from Natasha or something. You want to put your name on the bottom. I like to do that. Include your budget, make it very clear how much you're going to pay. So if you are looking for someone in the $25 to $45 an hour, or $10 an hour, or $80 an hour, make sure that is in there, because that's a really good filter. Hard skills, soft skills, like we talked about. Location and time zone. I mean, for me, I have 3 children. So to me, I will not work outside of certain hours. So I'm very strict with time zones. A magic question. So you bury a specific question in the posting, and I'll show you what that looks like later. Anyone who misses it isn't paying attention. Ongoing versus project-based, state it clearly. You want someone who has the availability. So basically you can use AI, whatever or not, and create a crystal clear job description for this person. So there is no guessing what you're looking for. So you have it laid out in detail so they know. And then let's just say you're writing a job listing, for example, for, you know, a web developer, for example. So you've got like Shopify, React, knows how to work with Figma, pixel perfect web development. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Works between Pacific time 10 to 5. And like you put it in there, you mix in that magic question. So only if someone's paying attention will they see it. And I'll show you what that looks like later. So step 3 in action, writing the job description. So this is an example of a really bad job post here on the left. Developer needed, no rate mentioned, no hours mentioned, no skills, web stuff, coding, you have to code, greeting to whom it may concern. This is a terrible job posting. Strong job posting, Shopify developer, Liquid React, 35 to 45, depending on experience, time, skills. Like I said, example, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream? This is going to create much better responses because to be honest, like professionals are going to read a post like this and not see that you're a professional and they're going to ignore it. So you want to show up really professional too. So, and then once you've got the job posting, you've put the job posting up, you're on Upwork, whatever, the applicants are going to start to come in. It depending on your price range, depending on the skills you're looking for, you could get up like 100 applicants in a 24-hour period. It can be really overwhelming. And some people at that point, they kind of freeze and they don't know what to do. This is really fast how you narrow it down, okay? Number 1, location. For me personally, I really prefer working with people who work in like a North American time zone. It becomes very confusing when you're dealing with a bunch of time zone differences. So for me, for example, if I notice that someone is hugely outside of my time zone, immediately I'm just going to like decline their application. They don't see it. They don't see that I declined them. They don't get a rejection notice or something like that. But I immediately just do a review through the 100 and I delete anybody who's not in a time zone that I'm looking for. And then preference filters, number 2. And then now you're down, you have less than 100 now, right? So you've filtered out the time zone one or the location ones. Preference filters, gender, price range, any other specific criteria to you. So I'm a female founded agency. I love working with women. So let's say I was looking for a female developer and that's really what I'm looking for. Okay, I'm only going to keep the female web developers, right? Rate range. If they're way too high, I'm going to take that out. If they're way too low, I'm going to take that out, right? So success score on Upwork and Freelancer Tools, you can see their success scores. Someone for me over 95%. I've been running a web agency for 10, almost 11 years. I used to be willing to take like new developers and like help train them into my system. I don't do that anymore. Now I want the best my money can buy. So 95% or more, $10,000 earned. I want someone who's a professional, someone who knows what they're doing, someone who's not going to make a ton of mistakes. It might be more expensive on an hourly basis, but it's going to be way less expensive in the cleanup, right? We all know what that's like. Magic question. Did they reply to the magic question? You know, if you're reviewing all these things and if in your job application, or sorry, in your job posting, you said, please start your project application with your favorite flavor of ice cream. And you see at the top, you're going to see people who are like vanilla, 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 chocolate, 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 dot, dot, dot. And if you notice that people didn't do that, delete, 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 delete. Because in my experience, you want people who are looking for, have a very, what's the word? They're paying attention, that attention to detail, right? So if they didn't answer your magic question, delete. And then they used your name. So if I had my name on the bottom of my job posting and they start the post with dear hiring manager or dear sir or hello there, and it doesn't say hi Natasha or hey Natasha or like happy Monday Natasha or something, like to me, if they're just generalizing and they're not actually using the information I'm giving them as a clue, to me, I like working with people who are very personable. So someone who's going to like, you know, have that, want to create that connection with me by using my name. So that for me is a preference. Like if they don't use my name and I've given it to them, that to me is kind of a turnoff. So this is an example. So here we go. Step 4 in action. So we've got all these applicants, right? And you can see, dear hiring manager, no, this guy, no. Ready to start right away without any sort of like details, right? No. Used your name or referenced your job posting. Hey, Natasha, I noticed you mentioned blah, blah, blah. Hey, Natasha, I noticed you asked about ... Okay, that's good. They're showing me they're actually reading the details, right? They asked a smart question. So yeah, people who are just vague, like, hey, your project caught my attention. I have 5 years experience. No, delete. So step 5 and 6, the DM and the video calls. So then once we've gone through those 100 and we've narrowed it down, right? Like now we're left with let's say we're left with 10, right? We do the DM test, which is something I like to do. And I'm going to say, hey, Alex, thanks for your proposal. I'd love to hear your questions about my project posting. And what you're testing is critical thinking and attention to detail, genuine interest in the project, responsiveness, speed, written English skills. So then the people who come back to you and they're like, no questions, I'm ready to start. No. You want someone who's going to come back and think and have questions and be like, okay, and I'll show you on the next slide. And then with the ones you actually like, the ones that you feel did send you good questions, we jump on a call with them. So let's just say there's some here and they didn't reply the way that we were happy with or whatever. The ones we did like, we jump on a video call. Now we're looking for culture fit. So the 3 who replied with good questions, what we're evaluating, we do a quick 20-minute Upwork video call. Their Wi-Fi. If their Wi-Fi is sketchy just from trying to get on a video call with them, no, not going to work, right? Communication and professionalism. Like I've had calls where I got on a call and the guy was like having a cigarette during the call. I'm like, no, that's not going to work for me, right? I'm like, no. So team fit. Do you like them? Do you have a good vibe with this person? Like if you're going to work with them, do you actually like them? Liking them is the last filter. They have to pass through all these other filters, right? Spoken English. Some people can write English really well, but they cannot speak English. Like they can write it, but they cannot speak it. I want them, in my case, to speak and write well. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. We've talked about this already, but you can see here, hey, ask me your questions. Hey, ready to start, lots of experience. When can we start? Or hey, a couple questions, rebuild, migration, page flag, custom. Like this person is paying attention. This person is actually interested in getting the details, right? So then I talk about the 3 strike system. After I've done a video call with them, I talk about like, look, okay, working on this team, we follow a 3 strike system. And this is what we use for a lot of agency owners are terrified of firing people. They will keep bad people on the payroll just because they're too scared to fire them. So this is what I do is I'm like, hey, Alex, I'll use the name Alex. We have a 3 strike system on the team. What that's going to look like is if you make the same mistake 3 times, we're just going to let this relationship go. We're not going to continue working with you. And then we explain, hey, first time, we acknowledge what happened, let them know, hey, we talked about coming to meetings on time. Remember, if you're late, next one, hey, remember we talked about coming to meetings on time. The next time this happens, you're late, we're done. Hey, Alex, thank you for your work. We've talked about this twice. I just want to thank you for your time, but I'm going to go ahead and end the contract right here. And you prep it, you set it up so that the firing is like a no stress situation for anyone involved. And again, I know I'm going through this fast, but again, at the end, I'll talk to you about a course that I've got just for you guys. So step 8, step 9, we do a technical review and then we do the hiring. The technical review is everyone. So for example, using Upwork, you can see their reviews. You can see that they're good at what they do. They might have a 100% success score, but you want to check, do they work to your standard, right? So does it work with you? And then once you've done the technical review, let's say you're left with 2 people left, right? I like to hire 2 and put both of them on a test project to see who I like best, who's a good communicator, who's got the best vibe with our team, who's got the best skills, who takes feedback the best. And then we do the hiring. We do a video call. We do a different video call to answer all their questions. Again, we lay out our non-negotiables and explain our 3 strike system, confirm available hours in our time zone, explain the 30-day trial period, financial terms, billing cycle, book our onboarding call. Again, I know I'm flying through this, but I'm sure Steph, is there a recording after this? Do people get a recording? But onboarding.
Yes, there will be recordings up As soon as tonight, even of this. Yeah.
Amazing. So you'll have this later. So perfect. Once we hire them, we go to an onboarding. Before the call, we get ready for that call. We do the agenda, we do the prep, all the login credentials, Slack, communications, have their first task ready to go. During the call, we set up we do intro to the project manager, whoever their team leader is, talk about the team structure, all our tools, all our systems, review the non-negotiables through Strike system, assign the first task with clear deadline and all support materials. One thing I hear a lot from agency owners, they hire people and they're like, they do such a bad job. There's nobody good out there. Like all freelancers are just, bleh. I'm like, well, one thing I always ask is how good a project manager are you? Because amazing people cannot succeed in a broken system. So that's a conversation for another day. But making sure that as you're bringing people in, you're organized, you're prepared, they know what you want them to do, you know how they can win at it, and you set them up for success. After the call, keep in touch with them. Don't just dump them and ghost them. Keep in touch, talk to them, stay available, answer their questions, support them, get them whatever they need. And then, so Stephanie, I am going to go to open this up the last few minutes for FAQ, but this is my offer. I do have this as a course. It's called the How to Find, Interview, and Hire Excellent Virtual Contractors on Upwork. It has interview questions cheat sheet, contractor onboarding checklist, 3 Strike email templates, I have 10 different video modules, scripts, resources, tools. I think I put it in the chat. The link is there as well, but the link is there. And for anyone who is at this particular event for the Web Agency Summit, I am doing a 50% off Web Agency 50. And this is only for you guys. So, and this is like a DIY course of my exact system broken down with tons of support resources. So here's the link for it again, and I will take some questions.
I decided to choke to death real quick right before our Q&A.
That's a good decision.
Sorry. I did not have a continuity plan in place for if I choked through your call. I should work on that.
You're okay.
Sorry. Okay, so we have there's a couple things. One, I love the magic question. The ice cream, though, I'm gonna be honest, Natasha. I think you could do better.
I like that question. It's funny.
I know. I think you could do better because I have one, and then someone put one in the chat already that is funny. And I want to know if you're watching live and you have a magic question like Natasha described, put it in the chat. We'll compare them. Excuse me. Here's one question.
Whatever you want. Whatever you want.
Here's one question for you. Blake says, I'm gonna choke again. Can you read it?
Yeah, I always look at how many jobs they have in progress to see if they'd even have time for me if they're running a pseudo agency as a freelancer. I completely agree, Blake. Like if they have like 20 jobs on the go, I'm gonna pass 100%. They're just volume, and that's not my brand at all. So I'm with you.
Thank you. I'm glad that you have. You might take my job one day being host here. You're good at it.
Well, only if you're not choking. That's okay.
Okay. Zachary has a comment here. He says, I'm gonna pop it into a banner.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I love the idea of a DM test. Reminded me of when I met Steph. We were DMing first. I have had some highs and lows with my hiring. I have had some really, really awesome hires and some really, really not so awesome things that have worked out badly. But Zachary, who is our social media manager extraordinaire, and he also made all of the Vibe Coded games that we have in our arcade. So he's amazing. But he worked for me, and he works for Adaram, and he actually worked for my dad for a while. Like he's an awesome guy. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So let me put. Oh, this is Blake's magic question.
Okay.
If you were to jump into a bowl of Jell-O, what color Jell-O would you jump into? It almost sounds like a.
Oh, that's so good.
Twister.
That's a much better question. Yeah, that's a much better question. I'm gonna steal that for sure. Right? Yeah, it can be anything. It can be anything.
Okay, so this one isn't so much of a question but Richard tells them to reply with the word apple as the first word of the reply.
That
That
works
makes
too.
it nice and easy to just
That works too.
get
Yeah,
rid of all of
whatever your
them.
thing is to test them. Like, are they just reading it, right?
Yeah.
Are they actually reading it?
I put it's so hard to type and talk at the same time,
I know,
but
right?
I have I put a middle name field on the application, but I don't care what their middle name is, and then at the end, I tell them to put Lemon as their middle name. I don't know
Mhm.
why Lemon. I think I was thinking of Liz Lemon from 30 Rock. Anyone? Any 30 Rock watchers out there? I don't know. But that's another nice and easy one that you could see. Although I like it in the subject line because then you can really just delete the emails immediately.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me take this down now. So Cordarius, I'm sorry I'm saying your name wrong probably. Once you hire a VA from Upwork and decide to keep them around for future projects, do you continue to only pay them through Upwork system or do you take them off platform? Excellent question, Cordarius.
Excellent questions. That is a very legally you're supposed to keep them on Upwork. Yeah. I know it's a very gray zone. Like legally, technically, you're supposed to keep them there. I know a lot of times they will ask to be off Upwork because Upwork takes a lot of fees. That's really up to your discretion because there can be penalties if Upwork knows you're not using the platform. That's a great question. It's really up to your discretion, I guess, how you would handle that.
Okay, Natasha, we're gonna have to wrap it up here. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
This was awesome information. I loved it. Guys, she's given 50% off. Take advantage of that. Go
Yeah,
get it.
of course.
And the link is in the live chat. If you're watching live, it's on screen. If you're not, you're gonna have to type it. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna jump out of here. We're gonna be gone. I'll be right back in a minute with Jen Harris for real this time. I said that last time and I was wrong. So, all right,
Very good.
I'm gonna end it now. Thanks so much.
Thank you.